Hallelujah, Yahweh. Praise YAHWEH. In the name of the Son, the mighty God, YAHWEH. Beit Nun Sofit, YAHWEH. Selah. Welcome to Black Gods of Yahweh Media. And in this particular video, we're going to talk about a situation that really touched me today. And it highlights the problems that Black Judah finds themselves and how they create ways to fight amongst each other. Now, most of us who have knowledge of self, we already know who we are, and we know who our brothers and sisters are from the islands of the sea and the four corners of the earth. We know that the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade is our brethren and our sisters and our family. I'm going to read this article and talk about this controversy because it hits home. Now, not often do I focus on a lot of mess that our people go through. But from time to time, certain situations will completely latch itself on to what we're trying to do when waking up our people and getting them to understand who they are as children of the Most High God of Israel, YAHWEH, Yahweh. Now let's get into the story. Actor Michael B. Jordan to rename Juve, that's how you pronounce it in French, Rum after Nicki Minaj criticism. You see, Michael B. Jordan, Nicki Minaj. Actor Michael B. Jordan, once again, is to rename his rum drink brand amid allegations of Caribbean cultural appropriation. Wow. The Creed star, Juve liquor shares its name with a carnival which, while celebrating Caribbean culture, has ties to 19th century slavery. Now, I want you guys to focus on the last part of that sentence. In an Instagram post explaining the history, Trinidadian-born rapper Nicki Minaj urged Jordan to rethink its use. Jordan posted an apology, because these people always break down the black celebrity, and confirmed plans to change the name after a lot of listening to the community. Now, I'm going to get into a lot of things here. Here you have stupid Judah fighting amongst each other. If you're from Canada and you're a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade, if you are an FBA foundational Black American descendant of slavery, if you are from Haiti, if you are from Jamaica, if you are from Trinidad, and you are a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade, you are the same people. And even though they may not know and believe that they're Hebrew Israelites, they have to know that fact already that they are. So I'm going to get into some scripture right quick, because we always base what we say on biblical fact. We're going to go to the infamous Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord, thy God, YAHWEH, Yahweh, shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So it don't matter where you're from. If you're a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade, you're the same people. You don't even have to know this scripture to know that. Now let's go to the precept of Deuteronomy 28:68. Now, a lot of people don't know this one, but we're going to go to Jeremiah 13:19. The cities of the south shall be shut up, and none shall open them. Judah, the so-called African American, the so-called Black from Canada, the Caribbean, and the islands of the sea, shall be carried away captive, all of it. It shall be wholly carried away captive. That's all of us. So all of the so-called blacks from these regions are the same people. It's a headache when I see this type of stuff. So let's ask a question. How is it that you never hear people from Sweden, Norway, and all of these other European countries when Hollywood makes a movie about the Vikings? They never cry cultural appropriation, do they? No. Do you hear people from Ireland getting mad and crying cultural appropriation to white American filmmakers for making the movies such as Braveheart? No, you don't. White Americans latch on to the Greeks and Romans. They latch on to all other European cultures here in America and around the world, and they never get hit with backlash for cultural appropriation. But here you have Black Judah, stupid Judah, finding ways to fight amongst each other. So the people who are confederate against us, they stick together and we create ways. We're the most creative people that I know to find ways to divide and conquer each other. It amazes me. So we know for a fact, and we can't hide the truth, that many people who come here from other countries who are so-called blacks, the dominant society uses them against Judah. We heard the Messiah speak about this before already. Where are you from? You're not a Cuban. Do you have a Cuban name? What language did you speak? You are not a Jamaican. Do you have a Jamaican name? Is that your culture or is that your race? So all of these people who are Judah, who have a different language and a culture, that's because you are part of that nationality, but that is not your race and ethnicity. You are a Hebrew Israelite, descendant of Abraham. And the establishment uses these other individuals to fight against Judah, who was born here in America, and their descendants coming off the slave ship, even though we're the same people. I have to say this. Every so-called black person, whether they're Judah or not, who comes to America, your whole life is cultural appropriation, because if it wasn't for what we did in the civil rights movement, then you wouldn't have a place to come to and prosper. I think that's the most frustrating part to most so-called black Americans who are foundational here. That's the truth. The audacity for someone to come here and join the enemies in their little games to fight amongst each other or to fight against us here in America. That's the most frustrating part. I remember Samuel L. Jackson made a comment about why black Americans cannot make movies about their own heroes, and they always have black Brits and Africans and or actors from the Caribbean. And this is not saying they're not hardworking, but if you were to flip that vice versa, there would be backlash. All of the heroes who come from Black Britain or Africa, if they were all played by black Americans, there would be an uproar. So it depends on what side you're on. However, you got to realize that the enemy uses us to fight amongst each other. And like I said, we use creative ways to do this. And it stops us from being unified. So you guys know I don't hop on every little single situation that Black Judah goes through, especially the dead. I don't. It's just certain things that really tie our self-destruction together. And the bottom line is, until we can get this thing figured out, and understand that the moves that are being made is used to play each other. That's why I always say that many of our people, no matter where they're from, if they don't have a God and they don't know Yahweh as their God, then they'll do anything. Go back and watch my video, The White Man is Your God If. It breaks all of this down. They can be sold out for money. They can be sold out for trinkets. They can be sold out for fame. But if you know that your God is black and your Messiah is black, specifically in the knowledge of Yahweh, then all these things you will look at it to be foolish. And I just wanted to touch on this story and how it's really silly to those who are awake. But it kind of goes back to what I was saying throughout this video. Stupid Judah, once again, finding ways to fight amongst each other. This is Black Gods of Yahweh Media. I want to say peace and shalom until the next video.